Hello there. This is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how are you doing? In today's video, we're going to take a little look, a little gander at this book. I bought it months ago and I put it on my shelf and forgot about it. And the reason I bought it was to do it on this channel. So I'm quite excited about this moment. It's a really cool book called The World Atlas of Football Stadiums by Rizzoli Universe, 1000 Iconic Grounds and Their Stories by John Gillard. Did he do that other book that I've got? I can't see on my shelf. Where is he? No, Neil Hurd. No, okay. So this book is beautiful. And split into multiple continental sections, starting off with North America and the Caribbean, Central and South America, Europe, Africa and the Middle East, Asia and Australasia, with gems in every section. My one criticism is I think they could have a couple more pictures. It's a very typical British ground there. And it actually starts off with my favourite stadium in the States, BC Place. Sorry, in the States, in Canada, of course. Silly me. So this whole section is about Canada. Got the Olympic Stadium, which is in Montreal. In 2015, 61,004 fans packed the Donut for the CONCACAF Champions Cup final between Montreal Impact and Club America of Mexico. Home advantage wasn't enough, despite a record-breaking Canadian crowd. 2 months later, the Women's World Cup came to town, with the United States beating Germany to book a place in the final, with hat-trick hero Carly Lloyd opening the scoring. And then BC Place, Vancouver. I often get Vancouver and Seattle sort of confused. And also the stadium in Seattle is my favourite stadium in the States, so for that reason I do get confused. Getting my excuses in early for calling Canada the States, sorry. The Cascadia Cup, or Cascadia Cup, has been played out between three historic teams, Vancouver Whitecaps, Portland Timbers and Seattle Sounders, across eras and leagues. Since the 1970s, the clubs have vied for dominance in the Pacific Northwest. The Vancouver Whitecaps legs are played at an equally historic stadium. It was built in 1983 with an iconic inflatable roof that has since been replaced with a retractable roof supported by cables. Support spans from the Cuba Collective. Tifos display pride, togetherness and the club's 50-year history. A large ever-present flag sums up the vibe, a power salute fist with club colours emanating like sunbeams. And then the United States. And it's actually put into states of Washington is here, so we can see Providence Park, the Timbers, of course. So Lumen Field is also here in Seattle. Providence Park. Pelé played his last official match of the 1977 Soccer Bowl here at the oldest soccer-specific stadium in America. The stadium has been renovated since it was first built in 1926. Yet much of the original architecture remains. In recent years, tifos have arrived, and superfan Timber Joey stands on top of a 100-foot-high, 30-meter timber pole during games. When the team scores, he descends the pole and takes a chainsaw to a log, holding aloft the piece of timber in celebration. Legend. You should write a comment and tell me which stadium you would like to learn a little bit more about, as I will be just going from one country to another. A lot of stadiums in California, oh my god. Okay, Mexico. Start off with one of the most supported clubs. This is from Pumas in Mexico City, I believe. The Estadio Olímpico Universitario. I watched a couple of matches there when Aaron Ramsey was playing for them earlier on this season. So, the Estadio Olímpico Universitario, Club Universidad Nacional de Pumas. The second largest arena in Mexico has a capacity of 72,000. Much of the volume comes from the enormous West Stand, whose concrete benches seem to just keep going beyond what appears realistic. The East Terrace is similar. Little has changed since it was built in 1952, and so watching Pumas UNAM play here is like stepping back in time. The main entrance is adorned with Mexican and Olympic iconography in a mural by Diego Rivera. The Olympic cauldron sits on a plinth above it. At the time of its build, Frank Lloyd Wright, architect of the Guggenheim in New York, called the stadium the most important building in modern America. UNAM fits in with the iconic nature of the surroundings. Their jerseys are based on the blue and gold of the University of Notre Dame in the United States, and have a huge golden puma head on the front. Obviously at some point we'll look at the Estadio Azteca. And my favourite stadium, the BBVA. We'll come back to that another time. It's got one from Cuba, a page from Cuba. Estadio La Bombonera. So they have a bombonera as well, not just in Argentina. San Cristobal, and the club is FC Pinar del Rio. The bus doesn't stop in San Cristobal. You have to walk the last mile on the edge of the historic tobacco farms and under the shadow of the Sierra del Rosario mountains. In 2008, La Bombonera was ravaged by a hurricane and remains crumbling with a dirt pitch. The stadium, though, is home to the proud club of FC Pinar del Rio, and you can take a seat in the wooden and concrete stands, drink some rum, yes please, and listen to the banging Pinareños drums. Central and South America then. Oh, that's a lovely one. Oh, this is the Estadio Nacional de Costa Rica. So, Estadio Nacional, where are you? Costa Rica, Guatemala, Nicaragua. If you were to put a pin in a world map to mark the center of the American supercontinent, you would put it through the center circle of the Estadio Nacional de Costa Rica. It sits in the heart of San Jose, in the center of the country. Its roof is the star spanning over the sides of the stadium in two arches with distinctive triangular edging like a crown. How beautiful. That's so cool. Oh yeah, you can see it there. And then Colombia, Estadio Olímpico Pascual Guerrero. From Cali, América de Cali, Atlético and Boca Juniors. Boca Juniors obviously of Colombia, not of Argentina. If you've ever wondered what it would be like to visit an aquarium that's also a football ground, well, haven't we all? Then this 37,000-seater Olympic-style stadium may satisfy your curiosity. The track around the grass as well as the stadium seats are electric blue, while the circular roof is white. They're the colours of América de Cali, I think. It is home to three football clubs, the famous América de Cali, as well as Atlético FC and Boca Juniors de Cali. In 1930, Emilio Manrique, the president of the local Valle del Cauca Soccer League, told poet and former politician Pascual Guerrero about his idea of building a soccer stadium for the city. Today, the stadium is named after the man who made it a reality. And we can see it in a wide-angle view here. Venezuela, Suriname, Brazil. Let's have a look at Brazil. Oh yes, very beautiful. So this stadium, I think, was built for the World Cup. Neoquímica Arena. Let's have a look at this one. We also have Allianz Parque, Palmeiras, I think. Allianz Parque, Sao Paulo, Sociedade Palmeiras, yes. This one, though, Neoquímica today. This is of Corinthians. Sport Club Corinthians Paulista in Sao Paulo. Actually, they're both in Sao Paulo because they love their football in Sao Paulo. The Neoquímica Arena is the super-modern home of the Brazilian giants Corinthians, one of the big three in Sao Paulo. This aesthetically pleasing ground has all the trappings of a modern masterpiece. It is bright, open, sleek, and comes complete with state-of-the-art big screens and VIP boxes. Asymmetrical from above, this arena's base is built into the earth so that from the ground level you can go up to the top tier and go down to the lower. Behind both goals are open spaces for extra temporary seating, used for the 2014 World Cup, which increases capacity from 47,000 to almost 69,000. It's a cool idea. So you go down into the stadium rather than climb it all the way. Cool. We'll come back to the Maracanã in a different video. Brazil seems to go on forever. Oh, Galo. Paraguay, Uruguay. But you know we're looking for Argentina, aren't we? Here we go. One of the huge stadiums that they've got. That's the Estadio 15 de Abril. And that is Union's stadium. Club Atlético Unión. We will do that one today, but yes. The Estadio Alberto José Armando is here, obviously, and El Monumental as well. if I'm right, yes, La Bombonera is the nickname of that one. Let's not be predictable, let's not do either of those. We're going to go to Santa Fe and look at Club Atlético Union's Estadio 15 de Abril. This ground is aptly named after the date on which Union de Santa Fe Football Club was founded, April 15th, 1907. The club came into existence around 2 years after their rivals Colón, when the pair do battle here in the Clásico Santa Fecino. The whole region comes to a standstill as the ground shakes and the stands tremble. It is one of the biggest derbies in a country that is eternally gripped by football passion. Chile is here as well. Bolivia. And Peru. Ecuador. And let's head into Europe. Iceland. Look at that view. Norway. That's stunning, we can't ignore that. Look at that picture. Norway is a beautiful country. Absolutely stunning country, but look at it just stuck on the end there. This is Molde. The Aker Stadium, with a small but beautiful plot on the water's edge overlooking the Norwegian fjords. The Åker, or I want to say Åker, but maybe it doesn't have the little thing over A. Aker Stadium is compact. Wherever you sit, you'll feel close to the action. The stylistic Scandic Hotel Tower beside the ground, this one I guess, doesn't detract from the charm, and it makes the perfect pit stop on match day. Denmark. So the Brøndby Stadium, Vilfort Park, where we can see here. Brøndby Stadium, also known as Hell in the North. Brøndby Stadium, also known as Vilfort Park, is best experienced during a night game under 1,500 floodlights. For the biggest game in Danish football, take in the Copenhagen derby between home team Brøndby IF and FC Cuban, Copenhagen. It is seen as the suburbs versus the city. Giant tifos greet the home team. A banner reads, "Our heart beats only for Brøndby IF." The show of affection comes alive as the tifosi lift and drop yellow and blue banners forming stripes in unison to the rhythm of a heartbeat. Sweden. Borås of Älvsbo. The Borås Arena is unique for two very different reasons. The ground was built using funding from its own investment company, a shrewd move. The stadium it replaced still sits next door, and what's more, they are connected. They share a roof. The south stand of the old stadium is fused with the north stand of the new. To top it off, both stadiums have wonderful views of the surrounding hills. Crowds are a vibrancy of yellow when Älvsbo are playing, We have a similar thing in Cardiff actually, the old Cardiff Arms Park for rugby. The roof kind of goes into the Principality Stadium. They had to build it slightly differently to not move the roof of the old stadium. Estonia, Lithuania, Poland. Poland's got some stunning stadiums. Yeah, the national stadium, Kazimierz Górski, the Kazimierz Górski National Stadium for the national team in Warsaw. The illuminated facade of the Kazimierz Górski lights up the banks of the Vistula River at night. Structural roof supports extend into the sky and span the stadium. At the center of the retractable roof, inspired by the home of Eintracht Frankfurt, is a large flagpole flying the Polish colours. The largest stadium in the country is a proud host of the national team. Fittingly, record scorer Robert Lewandowski scored the first international goal at the venue during Euro 2012 when it was the host stadium. Okay, I'm going to skip so we can move forward a bit. Oh yes, my favourite stadium in Russia, Krasnodar, absolutely stunning. Krasnodar looks like an ancient amphitheatre. It sits on a plinth with the surrounding architectural landscape falling away beneath it. It's a dream for drone shots. Viewed from above, the whole venue really pops, with the spirals and vertical lines of the surrounding gardens continuing far beyond the stadium. One of my dreams to go to the Stadio Olimpico and to the Giuseppe Meazza, and the thought that they're going to knock it down soon, oh my god. My brother doesn't watch my videos, so I can say this. He's going to Italy like the week after next, and I suggested to his wife to take him, so I'm organising on the weekend the tickets. I'm going to get the tickets for them to go and have a look around. Roma are playing that weekend, so I really want to go on their holiday with them. It would be an absolute dream to watch Roma live, but also watch them. I mean, I'd love to go to the Stadio Olimpico, but to watch them in the Giuseppe Meazza, San Siro, that would be amazing. Okay, obviously Milan, both AC and Inter. The San Siro may be the most iconic football stadium on the planet. Of course, they are going to knock it down soon, which is why I'm getting a little jittery that I need to get there. A city that is home to one of the world's biggest football derbies between Inter and AC has also hosted the World Cup and various European Cup finals. History has always been made between these four walls: the iconic floating roof, the Curva Nord and the Curva Sud, and those unmistakable swirling towers. Lots to have a look at in Italy there. Austria, Monaco, France. Oh, this one is the Stade Jean-Bouin. Of FC Versailles, really? Oh wow, separated from the Parc des Princes by the width of a road, the home of FC Versailles stands in complete contrast to its avant-garde concrete neighbour. The Stade Jean-Bouin is covered in an Art Nouveau metal mesh. Inside you can enjoy a pre-match game of pétanque. I reckon I'd be quite good at pétanque. Oh, there it is there. There's the Parc des Princes. And then that's the Stade Jean Bouin. It's huge. I've never even heard of FC Versailles. My favourite is the Roi Jean Park. Of course, the Velodrome. I actually really like the Allianz Riviera as well. Andorra and then Spain. Obviously Camp Nou. I have been here several times. Not ever to see a match, but to do the stadium tour. Camp Nou. Obviously Barcelona. When Barcelona left their old home, the Camp de les Corts, in 1957, there was a sense of leaving the old field for pastures new, and so they named their future home Newfield, Camp Nou. Some of the greatest players across generations have called it home, including Kubala, Cruyff, Maradona and Messi. It has hosted major finals including 2 Champions League, the 92 Olympics, and in 82, 5 World Cup matches. Yes, it is El Clásico against Real Madrid, where the atmosphere reaches its climax. The famous Amphitheatre of Dreams is now being transformed. The historic exterior carefully maintained, while evolving into a modern giant. The South American style earring with partial covering is now a magnificent symmetrical bowl with retractable roof. I can't wait to see it. The capacity of 105,000 makes it the largest in Europe and 3rd largest in the world. A 215 square yard, 180 square metre area for commemorative plaques and ashes of deceased Blaugrana fans sits behind large murals highlighting the club's most evocative moments. Santiago Bernabéu. Metropolitano. Gibraltar. And then Portugal. Belgium. Netherlands, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg. Germany. Allianz Arena, obviously. Signal Iduna Park, very famous one. And yes, let's do Berlin, Olympiastadion. From Hertha Berlin, Olympic rings hang between the towering twin monoliths. At the entrance of the Hertha Berlin ground, it's an intimidating sight for away fans as they enter the Colosseum like a cauldron. The stands are swathed in scarves and flags, while blue and white flares fire from the Ostkurve and beyond. The blue running track, which can diminish a stadium's vibe, mirrors the underside of the roof, which spans the entire stadium with electric blue panels. This creates a vociferous, compact feel and generates even greater fervour. The west side of the stadium, behind the goal, features a large void in the roof, an upper tier completely open to the outside, where the original 1938-36 Olympic Games cauldron sits. Just there. Okay, we're going to skip and we're going to go to England. Craven Cottage, Amex Arena, Selhurst Park, Spurs Stadium. It's got to be Anfield Anfield, right? I've been to Anfield, I've said it before, haven't I? Anfield here. Liverpool. The experience of the Kop stand on a European night is legendary. 13,000 of the most vocal fans in football singing "You Never Walk Alone," with scarves held high and wide above their heads, becoming Liverpool's 12th man on the pitch. You feel the history of all those big nights within the fabric of the stadium, from the walk along the street of terraced houses and seeing the giant liverbird crest on the red brick stadium wall, to the old-style vertical turnstiles and the sea of red in the foyers and stands. There is a deep-seated vibe even when visiting on a non-match day and in relative silence. The tunnel that leads to the pitch and the sign reading "This is Anfield" bring an enormous sense of pride to every Liverpool player who passes through. I'll finish there, but we've got a lot left to look at and to read. So in this new series, just like we did with the kits previously and the World Club, the football club crests, make sure you leave a comment and ask whether your favourite stadium or your team stadium is in the book, and I will look for it with requests in the next edition of this series. If you enjoyed the video, click that like button, leave that comment, subscribe and check out all the other videos I do on football stadiums. There is a playlist. And thank you so much for watching. Join me on Patreon and I'll see you again very soon.